Liberia. This is our special Sunday edition. We are privileged to have the German giant Gina in the house. You don't know him by the name that is on that bowl, Michael Jens. It's GGG. That's what we know. GGG, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here, brother.
And it's good, to welcome the Gina. That's why we sounded the conga.
Conga. I get my own account too.
All right. That's the
I get my own Gina chain.
And he's joining us all the way from Bremen in Germany, where he's located.
Yes, sir.
This is your second time appearing on the show. We are glad to have you. This time our topic is on the family, the traditional Liberian family. But we want to welcome all our viewers from across the globe. If you have not already, please hit that share button, invite someone, let's talk. Our topic today is the traditional Liberian family. The traditional Liberian family that we all know. And what we're going to discuss is the dire need of the Liberian family. My guest again is Mr. Michael Jens, or GGG. That's the Liberian comedian. He's an author, he's a businessman, a school teacher, and also a politician. And when I say author, he got 2 books under his belt, one of which is The Blood Brothers. He talked about it the last time. He's a politician. So GGG is a senator right there in Germany. And let me shock you, he's going to be the first white man senator in Liberia.
We pray to God. One fine day. One fine day. Let's change the constitution first for dual citizenship. But that's another show there.
Yeah, that will be another show. GGG first entered Liberia where his parents were, as missionaries. And since then, he's been more Liberian than a lot of us. He's married. He's been married to his wife for 21 years. Imagine Gina married for 21 years.
Sure.
He got
running the bush, sir. No running the bush.
He got 2 daughters. One is 18 and the other one is 20 years old. Again, GGG, welcome to Focus on Liberia. It's a pleasure having you. Talk to our people.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to mention, beside all the other things, I'm a father. I'm a father and a school teacher. And I experience a lot of families here in Germany. I experience a lot of families that I support in Liberia. My friends that I have accompanied all these years during the war, even say, we go back a long way, and I've seen the development, and I think it's something scary that we need to address, because it's a dire situation and we need to help the Liberian family. But to help them, we need to know their problem.
Yeah. And so that's why you have the topic, the dire need of the Liberian family. So let me not hide this from you, GGG. When I posted the flyer and say, GGG, they know you merely as a comedian. You talk all the funny things and people are laughing. So when people saw the flyer that you were going to talk about the dire need of the Liberian family, there were mixed reactions. One, because people don't take comedians seriously, so they think that it's joke.
Okay, let me stop you there. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about all comedians.
Okay.
Comedy comes out of trauma. Comedy comes out of trauma. When you look at Robin Williams, the man even said kill himself. The man even said kill himself because of depression. You look at a lot of clowns, they are very sad people. And even I myself, I use comedy to heal my trauma, because I lost everything in Liberia during the war. You will see my book. Maybe we'll talk about it another time. But my brother went through that civil war. And I love Liberian culture so much, and having to give it up was one of the worst things in my life, and losing my people. And even though God blessed me with white skin, I wanted to have black skin. So you got something messed up. But comedy usually comes after trauma. Just keep that in mind.
Good. And even before we come to that part, because of your Liberian connection, you said it before, but just give us, just for 1 minute, and re-emphasize that Liberian connection.
Okay.
Liberian, there are plenty of us.
Okay, I came to Liberia when I was 8 years old, and I spent most of my youth in Liberia until Charles Taylor made out to become bird in the sky. No home. He made out to become a refugee. And I was taught the art of storytelling. I was taught all the spider stories by my beginner in Liberia. His father was a storyteller. And I fell in love with the Liberian culture. Then 2004, I went back. Soon as the UN secured Liberia, I went back. I looked for my Peking, who had fought in the war as a child soldier. I found him and we reconciled. I helped the man build up a new life. And I came back to Liberia every year and studying how the country was developing. And you know what? Back in the day, I used to tell my brother and his children that were young Pekins, I used to say everything will be better soon. The war is finished. Everything will be better. You will go into a bright future now. But my brothers and sisters, I'm still waiting for that future. I'm still waiting for a good school. I'm still waiting for clean water. I'm still waiting for a street light. I'm still waiting for a good current. I'm still looking for job opportunity for those children. And they are 22 by now. And they are telling me, we've been waiting long, oh, Papa.
22 children?
No. They are 22-year-old. Some of them are grown men now. They're looking for a job now. And no job in Liberia. If you don't know some politician, if you don't have your hand inside some kind of crocodile, you know, it's very hard to go through a normal school career and find some kind of job and apprenticeship like in other countries or like the US or Europe. So that's why I'm just challenging. That's why I'm challenging the government. I'm saying we need to help the youth and the Liberian family, but we'll go deep inside.
Right. And the second thing they said, well, what a white man knows about Liberian family, you want to talk about it. So fine. I know you get your response to that, but I want to give my response first. The response I gave. When I was in 10th grade, during we passed and I scored good grades, so they gave me a book. And that book is called The Liberia Geographical Mosaics of the Land and the People. That was written by Karl-Heinz Hasselmann, a German.
Okay.
And so far, I have not seen any book that talk about the geography and the land and the people of Liberia. So the only Liberia geographical mosaic is the one written by a white man, a German.
Look at and you see.
The second thing I want to tell them is all the Bible being translated into the Liberian languages. Most of them, if not all, were done by white people. I'll give you an example. They say there is a one called the Pentateuch and Joshua for the use of the Protestant mission in Western Africa. This was translated into Grebo. Grebo is a language spoken in Liberia. The concise summary of the Old Testament was translated into Grebo by John Payne, 1815 to 1874, an American missionary of the Protestant Episcopal Church, who later translated several books of the Bible into Grebo. He became Bishop of Cape Palmas in Western Africa in 1851. So talk about white person talking about Liberian family. Here is a white person translating into Grebo in 1815. So that was my response to that. Let me hear your own.
Okay, can you see this bookshelf?
Yeah.
This one here. These are all books about Liberia.
Okay.
Show me one Liberian person who get more Liberian book than me. They're all books about Liberia, development aid, the war, the history, all that thing. I've been studying it for my whole life. And the second thing, if you're inside a father game, why you can't tell your owner? And I want to ask before we start the show, I said, are all of us gentlemen fathers? And all of us say, yeah, we deep inside the game. So I think it'll be very valuable. You are Liberian, I am German, to just compare from the different perspective. Because sometimes when you're inside, you will not see something. But when you step outside, it'll be easier for you to see. I don't want to call it problem, but I want to call it challenges.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just joining us, this is GGG, that's the giant German Gina. He's with us here, and our topic today is the dire need of the Liberian family. GGG, let's talk about the traditional Liberian family before we talk about the need.
All right.
What is the Liberian family you know?
Okay, the traditional family I know is up country. Let me just say Flomo and his wife, and they get 10 to 13 children, and they they will be doing small agriculture and little market. Okay. I'm not talking about Monrovia, the Monrovia family, because that's a whole different challenge and a whole different skill set you need to survive in that big, big capital. But the traditional family will be impacted by, for example, the Poro and the Sunday society. You will have to choose if you will send your children to the society or if you're sending them to church. That's one of the big topics you will talk. Then you will see what kind of school will be close to your village, if you'll be able to pay the school fee. These are all different small challenges. But the traditional family I'm talking about is usually married through some kind of traditional ceremony, and they will have a large number of kids. And they will be living in a village type of setting or a small village or a little city type of setting. And they will be impacted by modern values and the traditional values. Shall I continue? My man, I get book on it here. Oh, if you want to talk, you better interrupt me. Oh.
No, go ahead, because let's lay out for us, because from what you're saying is here is the family, here is the challenge, and here is what put them in this dire situation.
Okay.
So just let me roll with you. I'm listening.
Okay, let's get started with UN. The UN set up 17 sustainable development goals. I don't know if you can put that picture on now.
Okay.
The sustainable development goals for every country, especially developing countries like Liberia. Can you put up the picture now?
Yeah. We're going to do that in a second.
Okay, let me just get started. The UN, the number one goal of the UN Sustainable Goals, Development Goals, is no poverty. Ha 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 ha. That joke, that serious joking. We are living in Liberia in one of the, I think it's the 7th poorest country in the world.
Yeah.
Our people are living off $1 to $2 a day. And I'm not talking Liberian dollars. I'm talking US dollars, especially the way the inflation is up now. So I think we all know the kind of impact poverty has on a family. No money, no solution.
Yeah.
So that one, the first goal of the UN, we have failed it already. Just think, if you live in America, you're living in any other country, the papa are not making money. Now the old man, little selling, are making the food to count the table. Who will respect the papa now? Your son will respect you when you sit at home the whole day. It will bring trouble. So just that first sustainable goal of no poverty is very hard to attain in Liberia. I think we still have around 85% unemployment. Everybody is working in the informal sector. Informal sector means black market, selling, trading, no paying taxes on that thing. That means the government is not getting any taxes on that kind of informal stuff. Right. So the government would never have money to put your school fee, to make your school fee to be free. So no poverty, the number one goal on the UN list, brings problem to the family already. Let's go to number two. Number two on the sustainable development goals is zero hunger. Zero hunger. Let me tell you something. There used to be no hunger in Liberia. There used to be no hunger before the war. Anytime I go around the country, I want to eat, I'll just beg the people. I say, my people are hungry. The people open the door, they say, yeah, you're welcome, my friend. Who are you? They will not know me, say they'll put food in my gut. When you try that one in Liberia now, you will see. You will see. I went there last October, just some months ago. I went there. Not one of my families was able to invite me for dinner. They said, no food in our refrigerator, no food on our table. Please bring a bag of rice for us. I said, what? You mean to tell me you can't invite me to free food? They said, we don't have the money anymore. We beg you. The way you, Gina, can eat, you will chaos. So just bring a little food with you. I said, so we get hungry in Liberia now? And this wasn't with every family, my brother. And you remember Liberian people used to be hospitable. Yeah. The Liberian people are so free to help you. But it's changing now. People are they are very poor now. And the family cannot be hospitable that much anymore. Let's go to goal number 3 on the UN list, which is good health and well-being. Good health. Tell me which hospital when you will go to in Liberia when you get your cancer, when you get a prostate cancer or your eye problem, when you need operation on your eyeball. And I'm talking small band-aid business. I'm talking complicated operation. Who will pay that thing? You get any kind of medical insurance in Liberia for the traditional family? I beg you, yeah. You have to look for Zoe. Then a Zoe will look for a Untu. Papi will say, where my bag of rice again? So, where your good health now? That why a lot of people die in Liberia because no access to health, good health. So the first 3 goals of the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN, we have failed them. It's very hard to reach them for the traditional family already. Let me just go to one more, and then I'll give you a joke on that one. The next one is quality education. Number 4, quality education. When we talk about quality education, let me tell you one joke on that one. The joke. Okay, everybody, we go again. We've been talking politics too long now. Joke, and we're ready for the joke now. The teacher came to class and he asked the children, he said, my children, it's time for test today. Y'all get ready. Hey, everybody, check. He said, okay, who is the president of Liberia? All of them check out. Stupid Butuo, he jump out, he said, I know. He said, who? That Michael Jackson. He said, good, correct. Everybody said, yeah, we know it now. And he said, who's the defense minister of Liberia? Stupid Flomo jump up. He said, that Prince Johnson. He said, good. Then he said, who wrote the national anthem? Who wrote the national anthem? Then all the children jump up. He said, we know it, Papa, we know it. He said, but what now? He said, Takonje. He said, yeah, okay. So he was just asking the children. He gave the last one. He said, so what's 2 + 5? What might be 2 + 5? So the children started scratching their head. He said, 2 + 5, 2 + 5, 2 + 5, 2 + 5. Ah, that's 25. Just say, yes, correct. Y'all will remain stupid like all until the government start paying my salary on time.
So he didn't correct them?
He never correct them. Why? Why? Because his salary was never paid on time. And he said, the way the government is treating me, I will treat the students. You see inside joke, there's always something serious. So I'm appealing to the government to pay our teachers according to the time and not 6 months later. These people have to pay for their family. Then you're making them to become corrupt. The whole thing, in Germany, they say the fish start to stink at the head. That the fish head can start to stink first, not the tail. Because most of the money in the head, or the brain in the head.
Yeah.
So if the country stink, go look for the head. The fish head will be the first to stink from the whole tail. The fish start to stink from the head. So I'm saying the whole education problem is started by the government not paying the people correct and not paying it on time. That forces a bad education and people not taking their job serious anymore because they don't feel themselves being paid correctly. They don't feel themselves taken serious. In our country, the teacher is a high-paid job, and I have a high responsibility, and it's a government job, and the government checks me. So if I fuck up, they will check me from there. But they pay me on time, and they pay me sufficient for me not to have to be corrupt. And that is written in my job description. They say you are not allowed to take more than $5 from anybody. If we catch you taking more than $5 in egg, in plantain, in bread, we'll be able to fire you. See that? You see the government protecting the students too?
Yeah.
I'm just challenging this because in Liberia, nobody taking nothing serious. So the teacher then said they will not take it serious. They'll say, nobody looking yet. You see the problem.
So GGG, you're saying this is the current situation of the Liberian family. You're saying,
Yes.
what happened? How did it get that way and why?
Okay, that's a good one too. Um, to tell the truth, the war, I don't want to place all the blame on the war, but let's start with the war's impact on history. In Liberia, we have a history of oral tradition. We are oral storytellers. That's why I'm a storyteller. I'm not an author in Liberia. I'm a storyteller in Liberia. I'm an author in Germany, but I know that Liberian people had to read book. They like to hear story.
Yeah.
That's why I became a storyteller. Because story, people will listen to it. Book, they will not read it. They not respect book yet. So Liberia has an oral tradition. We are a people of storytelling. And what happened in the war? Who did the rebel kill first when they came to the village? They killed the elders and the storytellers because they were the wise people. They were the people who were to try to protect the village from the influence from the Baba people. So the first people that they shot, that were the storyteller, that were the wise elder, that were the chief. So that only the young people will be there, then they can take control of that village. So, you know, they say another African proverb is, when you kill a storyteller, you burn a library.
Yeah.
And we lost a lot of information because of the people killed in the war. And we lost a lot of passing this tradition on to the next generation because the elders were killed. And there was a brutal cut. And we are now recovering from that brutal 13-year cut. And it will still take generations to heal from that. You know, we got to talk the thing through. You know, that small thing that happened on that time. And it's still leaving scars and trauma on a generation after generation because we're not talking about it clear. And we're just putting the thing under the carpet and we're saying, let it be so, let it be so. But true justice need to be talked about. And there are still a lot of topics that are not addressed yet and that are still making our society sick.
Like what?
But I personally believe that the war was one of the major things that really, really spoiled or impacted the family structures. Then the next one I need to talk about is social media. Social media, when it came to Africa, let me tell you, one of the funny stories I had, I went way up countries, way behind Swedru. I was hunting. With my beginner, we were looking for deer for our meat. We were hunting. We were in one village. They never even had electricity there. The woman then came to me. She showed me her phone. She said, look, you see that kind of shoe here? I saw it in Sex and the City. That's my favorite series. I said, you know Sex and the City, and they kind of bush. She said, yeah, I can be watching it. I want the Louboutin shoes. The next time you come, I want you to bring Louboutin shoes. I said, you know the kind of price on that shoe? That's 600 US. How much you get on you now? She said, I get $1. I said, but why are you asking me for $600 high heels from a series in America? She said, I want it. I see it, I want it. You see, Facebook and Instagram, it opened a window to the other world. And it made the people to be hungry for something. It made them to be dissatisfied with what they have. And I must say, I feel it. I'm feeling it. I get good life here, but when I go on Instagram, you will see people who have better life. Now I look at myself, I say, damn it, I'm wasting my life here. I'm wasting my life here. How you think a young person in Liberia that not get hope, that not get future, that not get job? Then you must listen to the papi who not get works there. The man will throw himself in the Mediterranean Sea to become refugee and to become slave in some restaurant here in Europe or in America. You know, this is a big sentence I read from Professor Lumumba in Kenya. Let me just finish this sentence, then we'll open. The man said, in the Middle Ages, in the 14th, 16th century, we used to drag the Africans on slave ships to Europe to work as slaves. And now they are coming by free will. They are chunking themselves in the water, they're almost killing themselves to come to work for very, very low money in jobs that nobody else wants. And it's crazy. Okay, sorry, I was talking long.
Yeah, no, that's good because the point you made there is about social media. Because the way I was looking at it, and I like how you explain it. The way I was looking at it is that because we all think social media is good, right? Because the exposure, you can go on social media get what, but you are saying it making people to desire more of what they may never have, and as a
Exactly.
result, they can do whatever
Let
to
me
get
give you
out.
another example. Let me give you another example from my personal experience. I know a lot of Liberian refugees in Germany, and not only Liberian, but these people came in 2015, 2014, even from Ebola time. They made their way to come to Germany. When they made it here, 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, my brother, you will see them posing in front of BB house. They would put it on Facebook. They would say, God bless me. Then they will go jump on some big SUV car. They will go lay down on the top. Then they will have somebody flash their picture. And they say, you see my new car. Then they will be putting all the bullshit on Facebook. Then all their Jew then, all their brother then in the village, they will see it. They say, oh, they join here, this stupid man. After 2 weeks in Europe, the man driving that kind of car, living in that kind of house. Let me go jump in the water and swim all the way to Germany to make my own money too. Not knowing the man working for $1 an hour in a poo-poo hole, trying to clean the poo-poo hole at McDonald's. He not getting shit. That man not getting nothing. The only foolishness he's posting on Facebook. That's what I'm saying. This kind of foolishness, y'all gotta stop it too. Because you are showing the people a false hope. Then they'll go kill themselves to come here. Then by the time they reach here now, they'll be vexed with you. They say, my man, why you brought me to this mess up place here? It's cool. I ain't get money. I ain't get hope. I should have stayed in the village. That true talk I'm talking about, that false hope they're raising in your village. And to tell the truth, the people here, they are jealous of your life in the village now because you have a people around you, you have free time. Don't mind, some of us are working, mother and father here are working like slaves too. Some of us get 2 jobs. Both of us get 2 jobs to make ends meet, to have a good life here. It's not as if we get a lot of free time. That only in a holiday, 2 weeks time, we can go jump outside. But other than that, we'll be hustling, we'll go to work in darkness. We'll come home from work in darkness. That the kind of life you want.
But what is causing people to desire that life more? I think one reason is they're not able to get even half of that in their own countries.
Exactly. And I talk to the youth. When I go to Liberia, the first question I ask the children on the road is, what is your dream job? What do you want to become? What do you think they answer me?
Politician, some president or senator.
Exactly. They say politician or pastor. I say, oh, are you a child of God? They say, no, bullshit. I don't know God business, but I know God business and money business. You see?
So
that's the only 2 jobs that get money inside in Liberia. Then you know politician are corruption. And the pastor, you know that plenty of corruption inside too. You know that even when a child knows that the money business is in the pastor business, then you know that cheating going on there too. So it's very hard to get an honest job in Liberia that will sustain a family. Some of my people even work very good jobs, they never got paid because the boss needed the money for his girlfriend. And there are no labor unions that will press charges for you, that will get you a just system. The justice system in Liberia is very hard to give you a true trial. The big man will win because he put money under the table. So these are some more challenges that Flomo and his family are facing. You know, let Flomo work for somebody. After 6 months, the man never got paid. Then he go drag the person to court. Then that person will just say, all the money gone. What Flomo will do now?
That's the
way they can do it. That the way they can do it in Liberia, that is style. Some of my beginner, they worked for 5 months. They were sales representative for company in Liberia, for insurance company. They went to the village. They subscribed the whole village. They made a lot of money in provisions. They said, now the man got to pay me $500 per month. I said, per month? You are rich. In Liberia, that's good money. Yes. Oh, I'm calling.
No, go ahead. We're trying to connect our phone line so they will interact with the Gina.
Okay. So the man never got paid. The man never got paid. 6 months of hustling. He never got paid. So these are the injustices the family is facing.
So family is facing, first we started with the poverty, education, healthcare,
healthcare, education.
education.
And now the next point we can talk about, the number 5 on the sustainable goals, is gender equality. Hayaka. Gender equality. What is the number 1 topic in Liberia right now? Rape.
Rape, yeah.
You see, is that gender equality? No. So I'm just starting on this list of sustainable goals by the UN for developing countries, and Liberia is having extreme difficulties on all the first 5. I'm just starting. We get 17 points. Now you know the kind of difficulty that Flomo and his family are facing. Gender equality. Hayaka. Now, we're not even going inside the rape business, but that's the number 1 topic right now on social media in Liberia. They even had big demonstrations in Monrovia concerning, do not touch my body. If I don't want to have sex with you, you might not touch me. And it's very hard for some men in Liberian society to accept that.
So Gigi, how do we, what is the way forward now? I know with all these challenges, we've become the dire need of the Liberian family that Flomo is facing. How do we get around? Before I even open the phone lines for people to call in, let's get some solutions or how we get around this.
You know what? I hate to quote this man, but he has been quoted in several expert books, and his name is General Butt Naked. I know you know him.
Yeah.
He was a former child soldier general. He was a general, and he was a very, very bad man. And he repented, and I'll leave it open if he really repented or not. But that one part, let the listeners choose their side on that one. You know, he's used as the Saul to Paul example, but he's actually a very charismatic person. I met him once, and he's quoted in a book that he said, we need a collective change of mindset. He says the corruption runs deep everywhere, from highest politicians to lowest child. Is deeply ingrained right now. You know, everybody just cut their piece of elephant meat and run. That's the system we get now. You put any politician in power, after 3 to 4 years, that person will be corrupt or dead. You see the kind of killing that going on in Liberia right now. I think the 4th person has been killed this week that has something to do with anti-corruption and checking the books of the government. 4 people have been killed, and something is going on. Someone is getting too close to the truth. And this is the kind of corruption that's just keeping us derailed. And then we have poor Flomo, who's trying to teach his children morals, and they see Western countries through Facebook. They see hope and future everywhere that are maybe fake. Then they have moral standards of tradition and modern life. Oh man, I just feel very sorry for the family, because it's an uphill battle. It's almost impossible. And then you don't have a job. Ayaka. So first of all, I think we need to find jobs for people, that a father is able to feed his family, period. Once the man can put some food on the table, we can talk about all the other things. But the most pressing issue is we need more jobs in Liberia for Liberian people.
Good work. Gigi, you touched on the killings. And this has been a hot topic. Is that my heart is broken. Whether we get, we come to the truth of actually how they die, but the circumstances surrounding those deaths, very, very mysterious, and it points to the fact that some foul play took place.
Exactly.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay. But I think one of them, they even killed a man with collars.
Yeah.
They split the man head. I think that's very foul play.
And they are saying, oh, the man was driving and they lost control.
Thank you. Yeah. So you can fall into collars. They almost split the puppy head from top to bottom, is what I heard. Yeah. But who am I to say, you know?
But I was thinking about that, and it makes, because all of us here, even when we went to school here, every time we're writing our papers, we are writing something about how we want to help back home. Everything, even the kind of profession or the career you pick is based on what you think can impact your country more.
Yeah.
So our dream is to go back to Liberia and work, even though we look kind of stuck here for some time. So if we see professionals going back, doing a professional job, it is not like military time to say, oh, they were trying to make coup, or, or all of us staged the coup and now we are suspicious of one another. These are people doing professional job and they are dying. What message does that send to us?
Exactly.
And our children that want to go home.
And to tell you the truth, you talked about the word suspicion. After the war, when Ellen started bringing American brains, like American Liberians back to Liberia to take high government positions because they had studied abroad, because they were more trained than Liberian people who had studied in the wartime, she was accused. She was accused. She said, why are you bringing those American people inside? Why Liberian men can't profit off this position? And she said, I need the best person in the seat. I can't have family members doing it. And you know, Ellen started, she said she wants to fight corruption. But look at her record at the end, man. She wasn't able to fight it. She joined sometime later. She put her sons in all kind of BB position there, and there were always scandals. There were always scandals about her sons. And so the Liberian people are very suspicious, on the other hand now, of all the American people that are coming back, because they're afraid that they're going to take the good jobs away. And I can understand it too, because they've been suffering in the country. They have a chance at that job. You know, they've been working hard to try to get that position, maybe through family members' help, through fighting very hard to educate themselves, paying school fees. And then they just pick the American person to come. I know there will be a lot of grudge. And you know, Liberia, we still split. We still split into Congo people and indigenous people, even though people is getting better, it's getting a lot better. But we are still not united. We are still not completely united. People still look down upon someone who can only speak Kolokwa. If you don't speak the correct American English, people will not respect you. Why? And you know, so the crewman from way up country, they will not get the government position because the man can't speak the correct English. You know, so you see that we still have levels. Yeah. And that's something, and the war, the tribalism is still the tribalism that brought the war and all the injustices. I think we still need to address that too, because people are still, you know, they are very connected to their own tribe. They will try to put their own tribe member in a position first before they look at different tribe men.
And sometimes that could be the reason why. Okay, before I even get to that, you been in Liberia, you live the best of both worlds, so you see these things more. What else do you see?
Okay, you know what I asked my wife, she's a kindergarten teacher, she works with the younger generation. I work with high school. And I asked her, and she asked me, she said, are there any family support centers in Liberia where a family like Flomo and his wife can go to for counseling? And maybe we can ask our listeners if they know that, because I know that some NGOs are offering this kind of help, but I don't know if the government of Liberia is offering family support centers for counseling, you know, for pregnancy control, for child problems, how to teach your children, you know, these kind of things. The developed countries have these kind of centers where someone who is overwhelmed with upbringing his family can go to and ask for help. The second point, Germany will give you child support money of 200 euros per child. Imagine Flomo and his 13 children. The man will be making money just with the number of children, because the government should be appreciative of the number of children you bring into the country. In Germany, they will pay you 200 per child every month. Every month you will get, I myself am making 400 euros with my children. That means I can put clothes on their back. I can buy food for the children anytime just from the government money. And this is something that Liberian government should look at too, you know. And we need more family support centers where people can go to for pregnancy control, you know, to get the pill or to get some kind of help. Because where you will find condom in Liberia, it'll be available. But why we don't have the pill everywhere for free? You know, these are some systems that we get in other countries. But that is everybody's own decision. Then let's talk about beating of children. Oh, you know, to flog our son at a small thing in Liberia. Hey, the Barbadians used to do it by way when we were a small boy. They used to flog the picking when picking broke something now, that small beating you'll get. And these are some of the things that can bring violence into the next generation too, you know. Maybe, but it's a traditional thing too, you know. But we have a lot of beating of children in the traditional families too. And we used to have it in German families too, in American families too. It's changed here. People don't. It's changing, and it's better. I never had to beat my children, and they are still become very beautiful young adults now. And this is, and I learned from myself because I was beaten as a child severely by my father, up to 15, until I was bigger than him. Then I said, Papi, the beating got to stop now. Otherwise, I will beat you too old. Then I'm flocking for flocking you. Then Papi agreed. He said, okay, let's sit down. Let's talk here. I said, oh, I'm talking now. Eh? Okay, Papa.
I know, and we really think we're doing something good.
And we destroy our children.
Yeah.
How that child will love you as a father and trust you when you're beating it. You know,
just out of our own anger. It's not like even some corrective thing. It's because you are angry.
Exactly. You lost control.
Yeah.
You yourself lost control, and because your papi, you, that's the only thing you know too. So today I got a lot of list of challenges. So I just want to add that one on top, you know.
Yeah.
And the last point that I think is really making the Liberian family to suffer is school fee. School fees. And I don't know about America, but in Germany, school is free.
Is it a K to 12 or colleges?
Kindergarten, you will pay small thing. But from 1st grade to 13th grade, you will not pay 1 cent. Do you know what kind of pressure that takes off the families here? It's incredible. I don't have to work for school fee money. I can use that money to put food on my food table for the children. Imagine that in Liberia, that the government pays that the government makes taxes and can use those taxes to pay for free schooling. It would alleviate all the problems for the Liberian families, because if you don't have job, how you pay 150 school fee every year for every child?
And what happened, GGG, is government schools, I think they should be free when it comes to the tuition, but then they have fees in Liberia that they pay. But the worst of all is the government, but private school will charge money. But worst of all is the government schools are so bad that you can't even afford to send the person you don't like to the government school. So you are forced to go to the private school that is charging so much money.
And that is a shame, because the public school are responsibility of the government.
Yeah.
And you see, the fish starts to stink from the head. So it's the government's fault that they are forcing people into a private school system.
Yeah.
And it's a trend that's starting in Europe too, and in America, that people are taking their child out of government school because the government school too fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, so we are going in that direction too. There's a lot of private schools are opening here because they promise better education. And every good parent wants their child to have great education, that he will have a better life. And, you know, so I understand every parent that will suffer themselves, kill themselves for that school fee money. But if we had free school, it would help Flomo and his family.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in conversation with GGG. Our discussion is the dire need of the Liberian family.
I have one little joke for you, my brother.
Let me give them the call number so they can call.
Okay.
The call number is on your screen there. It's calling is 605-313-6004. The code is 791-403. Please call that number and interact with the German giant Gina. So Yeah, give the joke. I got my own joke too. You were talking about condom,
Oh,
so condom joke.
no, I get one for marriage because I'm
Okay.
married man now. So
Yeah.
how many ring do you think you need for marriage?
Two. The engagement, the
Eh,
wedding ring.
you try. Go sit down. The first one are the engagement ring. The second one are the marriage ring. Then the next one are the childbearing ring. Then
Oh
the
man.
suffer ring. And then the endure ring.
So the
So my children, y'all will
childbearing.
not give up. Y'all will not give up. Oh. Y'all will endure ring.
Yeah, yeah. Plenty
What's
ring.
your what's your own?
My own there's a group NGO, they went to Firestone. So they were teaching the people about birth control. So they carry the condom
Yeah.
and they were demonstrating, so they put it on their finger
Sure.
to demonstrate how to put it on. So every time at night when the papa them ready to go to bed, they put the condom on their finger. So because they think they were protected now, they were doing it more than they should. So the birth rate went up.
Hey God,
Came
look
back,
at look at.
after some time, they came back, the children were more. They said, well, since your brother's thing, it has not been working. They say, okay, you show me how you're doing it. The man said, because I get 3 white, when I go into bed, I can put 3 on my finger. So you are a teacher. Visual aid very important.
I tell you, but don't put it on your finger. Okay, I get a good one for gender equality. Gender equality. So the Liberian government, they put it on the radio. They say we want to reduce the number of children. Y'all make it 5. Don't make it 13. If you are making 5, if you get 5 children, we'll give you 25,000 US dollar. We'll give you support money for that for the 5 children because we want you to try to reduce it small now. Because 13 is too hard now. The country getting hard now. So the other man here, Flomo, he went to a wife and he told her, he said, baby, the way we get 4 children, the way we get 4, I get one secret son with my side thing. Oh. Let me confess. I want to bring that son in the family so that we can be 5. It'll be okay for you. Then we can collect that money. Then it will be sweet for us. So the woman said, oh, so you get son outside of our marriage, eh? Yeah, sorry, baby. I'm sorry, don't mind, yeah. Just let me bring that son from up country. I'll go come with that beginning. Then tomorrow we'll go to the government. We'll collect our money, yeah. Don't mind, yeah. She said, okay, I agree. So he said, okay, I'll go bring my son to let him join the family now. From a side thing, you know. Then the next day, the Papa came back from up country with his son. He came to a house.
The
The
children
house was
gone.
empty. All the children gone. He called his wife. He said, woman, where my children in? She said, but you think are you the only one who can listen to radio? The other Papa then came to collect too. Ah! So you see the woman was inside her own game too.
You know, women smart. I want to tell people, I say, when you think you moving 2 steps, the faster we got a caller on the line, but let me read a few comments. Vahu
Yeah.
said, GGG, you are right. School fees killing our families in Liberia.
Thank you.
That is the same thing in America. No school fees. Isaac Kamara, I say, I just like how he can say fucker.
Yeah. Fucker.
You live Wellakende. You can't even find food to eat, no road, no electricity at this age of Liberia because of lack of money. Can the government afford to do that now?
And you see, the fish start to stink from the head. Yeah. But the government need taxes too. And that is the hard part. As a politician, I can only tell you from my experience here, we can only spend what we got. Of course, we have to stop the corruption. And I know that all the foreign aid that went into Liberia, let me tell you something. Did you know that every year of the UN mission, the peacekeeping mission in Liberia, and they were there for long, every year cost $800 million. Wow. Every year of the UN serving in Liberia. That mission was one of the biggest, it was the biggest peacekeeping mission in the world for 3 million Liberians. it costs 800 million a year. Now, you know what kind of money was put into Liberia? And you mean to tell me we still don't have electricity? Where is that money? Where is that money?
T-Bird said, love your cowtail.
Let me show it to you again. I got my chain. I got my chain too.
Let me
we got a caller.
Let me bring on the first caller.
Let's go.
Call out your name and where you're coming from. You have a Minnesota number.
Okay.
Your name.
Okay, I'm Langley Callen. Langley Callen, a Liberian teacher and lawyer, and I enjoy your program. All right.
Thank you.
Especially, I must commend GGG and Dennis John. I follow your program religiously. Okay,
Thank you.
And to add to the conversation is that we have to be honest with ourselves. My elementary to higher education, I got it from Liberia. Liberia educational system has been superb. The thing is, we have to invest into it and invest into the families. Okay?
Yes.
We have to prioritize it. Start from the community. I run a not-for-profit educational program in Liberia. Okay? It's not easy. Since I left it, there have been situations where I even supposed to, I get a bright students on programs that I don't have to kind of discourage them because just to feed the children alone. I had a couple of kids that, they couldn't sing well in school because they were hungry. All right?
Yes.
And we must prioritize agriculture. Like back home in the 80s, we had cooperated. Families were empowered at the grassroots.
Exactly.
We need to focus. Liberia had a very disciplined society. I must tell you, I got all my education I can boast up from Liberia, and I can compete with anybody, any part of the world. I worked in Liberia at the highest level at the Chamber of Commerce and travel extensively. But we have to bring the solidarity back home, and we as technicians, we have to go to Liberia and work. People say, oh, we're in our country. We work for the better, and as GGG said, and Dennis said, thank you for the show. I'll find time to get Ansu Soni's number. I don't have his number, but I'm able to volunteer my time on a professional basis to talk Liberian education. Not from the standpoint of getting work. I'll tell you about Liberian educational psychology, all right, the methodology, the testing, evaluation, the yardstick, or why even the aptitude of getting children to enter higher education. We need to start from the early child development. I was privileged in Liberia to go to J.J. Roberts. I was privileged in Liberia to do early child development. Okay, that gave me the basis to go higher in life. All right, and we got a country war. Huge. I saw that country. I did research and travel the 15 countries. I see the potential. Liberia has potential for tourism, has potential for agriculture, but you can't do all these things if we don't have human capital. If the mind not developed, there's no possibility. Look at JFK. When I was growing up, the waterfall that psychologically used to be make me feel good. I saw it in the 70s. All right. Should we be complaining? Man, my man, I just appreciate you and we take the right direction. All right. And another thing that's happening there, the people who come in Liberia, we don't need investors to come in the country to tell us how we're supposed to live. They're not treating the people right. All right. There are a lot of shady deals in our country. Very, very shady deals in all the concessions. Look at people who came to bomb mines there, the Chinese people. They're finding a way to take the iron ore to the place. All right? And leave the country like that. We got so many shady deals extorting the resources of that country. Look at the Japanese government gave $175 million for fisheries. That's a huge potential that can change lives. All right, but you see, that thing will just be on a cosmetic basis, and a group of people stealing, and the idea of killing professional people is disheartening. We don't have any other country to live besides Liberia, and we can make Liberia better. I can tell anybody. Government will come and pull. We need a strong private sector. We need to get involved in the private sector. In every sector, in the educational sector, agriculture sector. Look at Liberia. The Clark used to be one of the best medical schools. We never needed doctors. All right, but look at us. It's the opposite way today.
Exactly.
Right? So we need to like our country, and we thank you guys, and we appreciate. We'll continue to be positive. We can't thank our country. So I thank you guys a lot. Then I'll let you get Ansu's number here in Minnesota. I need to get in touch with him, please.
Yeah, right? we'll talk offline.
Thank you.
So GGG, Langley talk about going back, professionals. But me, I'm scared. 4 professionals died in 8 days.
My man, you better be scared.
Yeah.
Our brother said we need to go in the private sector. Yes, but the private sector needs to be protected by the government. If you open up a shop, you will, in 1 week time, some corrupt official will show up and say, put my food money here, otherwise I'll close your shop. Yeah. How you want to build a business? I built 5 businesses. Let me tell you something. I built business after business for my people in Liberia. The most corrupt, rampant one, I had a business with 40 employees, farmers in the bush, supplying my products with moringa. It's a very, very nutritious plant that grows up country. And I had biological, organic, high quality moringa. Then a government official shows up and says, look, you are sending those parcels out of Ganta, the post office. If you don't put 10% to 20% of your profit, of your net profit into my pocket, I will make sure that your parcels don't leave Ganta anymore. I told the man, I said, if you do that, it will kill the business. Do you want to make 40 families unemployed? He says, I don't give a damn. I need to make my 20% out of your profit. And I will close that post office. That post office, none of your packages will leave if you don't put my money here every month. I said, my brother, I'm not making any profit right now. I'm just helping those 40 families. They may close the thing for me. My parcels were not able to leave. I went bankrupt with that thing. I had to close it down. And this is what I mean. You can invest all you want. You can do all you want. If you are not protected by law, the government will kill you. They will eat you.
But
and you know the justice system is just for the highest bidder right now.
But what did you do about that, GGG? Somebody show up and say you're not doing this and you take it? Did you not complain? Did you not take his report somewhere?
My man, if you take it, where you would take it now? That's the man that was leading out, that he was in charge of that whole operation on that side. So I tried doing it from Monrovia. It was more than 3 times more expensive to send it to Germany. And then I just said, this is the only loop that I have right now to pass. Then the man closed it. Then I had to tell my 40 farmers, I'm sorry, I can close down your farm. But man, I will not smoke crying. So I'm just, and I can give you countless other examples. Don't worry. So it's just one example. So don't be naive and think you'll go back to Liberia. You'll just take your little money and start a profitable business right away. No got no corrupt government picking any with EU.
David Gosso say 800 ghost names removed from payroll recently is responsible for all the deaths. And David Gosso, I know this guy. David Gosso, your program bring out people who were on Buruburon Cam. I can remember his face.
Those ghost jobs.
He's trying to link the death to names that were removed from payroll.
You see, the fish starts to stink from the head.
Vahon message, Liberian citizens show fake lives in Western countries. We need to stop it.
Yeah.
And it takes education too, right? Because you who trying to be honest and tell them, they say you don't want to be me. So the man who takes the fake picture that the person they believe.
Picture. They believe in picture. They say picture can't lie. Picture can't lie.
Solo Brown said we need to educate the younger babies so they can learn how to work together.
Yeah, we need to, and I think Solo, you have a point there. After the war, some of the people, they told me a very good sentence. And they said, I said, what are we gonna do with the child soldiers? What are we gonna do with the traumatized fighters? And you know what the older Liberian people told me? They said, this is the lost generation. Let them live their life and die. And then after that, we'll rebuild. That was a bit exaggerated, because they said these beginning, they are too broken. We can't reintegrate these guys. They are complete Zogo now. And they gave up on them. And that is too hopeless. But I do believe that with the younger generation is our only chance to build a viable, new, strong Liberia. Because the older generation have been inside the corruption too long. They're only used to it now. But if we can start, as I said earlier, even General Bodnaker said, we need a collective change of mind. And this is what all our listeners are saying too. They say we need to work together. We need to stop everybody chopping on their own, trying to steal from the country.
1990, right?
Ah.
People that were child soldiers. You can't believe that 1990 had been 30 years ago.
20. Yeah, 30. Yeah, you're right. 30.
Yeah.
Those people are our age now.
So imagine those that were born 1990 are old people now. Those that were child soldiers in 1990 war. So
yeah, 45 now.
I'm trying to look at that. Who said this is a lost cause? Everybody's Zoko now. Let's just focus on the babies. That's profound. That sounds hopeless, but there's some truth to it.
Exactly. That's why I quoted it. You know.
So what's the prospect then?
But what do I tell the children of my brother who was a child soldier? His children, the new generation. I paid school fees for them for 10 years now, 15 years now. I've been paying school fees for the whole children. There are 5 children, and they are still going to school. The man is 21. One of their sons is 21. The man's still in 10th grade. Why? And they are telling me school is the future. I'm telling them, look, I paid all this school fee money for y'all. What kind of job y'all want to get after your high school graduation? What kind of job you want to get? Even say, I just want to tell them, stop going to school and go look for apprenticeship as a mechanic, as an electrician. Start doing something where you can make money with it in Liberia, because school will not bring you anywhere now. As our brother, the caller in, he said, you see, the school system used to be great, but now it's messed up. So we need to really, really improve the school for the younger generation, because I really hope for the younger generation.
When you say younger generation, what age are you talking about here?
Even say, let me say under 15, sir.
Because from the writing we see, A-R-E, personal pronoun I, somebody in high school don't know the difference.
My man, let Liberian person in Liberia write you an email now with a CV. Don't let that person use word. Let him write it by hand. You will make comedy out of that letter. I can post some of these letters on my page sometimes just to laugh, because you can only pronounce it, but you can only understand it by pronouncing the word. You cannot read it. The spelling is so messed up. And these are 10th graders.
Wow.
And I just feel ashamed. I said, don't let your boss see that kind of writing, man.
Let's try to close that, because we want to have you in Germany now. The time is after 11, right?
Yeah, you're going to midnight soon.
Let's talk about your books, and then we can close.
All right, okay.
The first book is the one you wrote with your...
Wait, I got one more joke.
Okay.
Let me drop one good joke. This is for the older generation. This one is for the older generation, the 50 plus. You know that there's no real good medical system in Liberia now. Even said JFK, they call it just for killing. Not John F. Kennedy anymore. They say just for killing. So if you want to diagnose yourself, do the GGG-PP test. You ready?
Yeah.
How old are you, my brother?
49.
Look at your young son. Then you will not need this test. Me, I'm going to 45 now. I need to start doing the test now. So I invented this test for African hospital. So you go in the garden and you pee-pee. If the ants come to lick your pee-pee, you get sugar. If your pee-pee can't fly high, if it can't fly far and drop on your slipper, you get prostate cancer. If your hand's shaking when you're holding the man, then you get Parkinson. If you go inside with your man still hanging outside, then you get dementia.
Oh, you finish it, but you go inside your man say outside.
So then you know. And if you forget why you went outside in the first place, you get Parkinson. So you know all your diagnoses now.
What? No. Let's go over. I want to remember.
Okay, number one, you pee-pee outside. If the ants come to lick your pee-pee, it means sweet. That means you get sugar. Number one, sugar. Then if your pee-pee don't fly far, it drop on your slipper. You get prostate cancer. Then if your hand's shaking, you get Parkinson. When you're holding the man, when you're pee-peeing and shaking, then you get Parkinson. If you forgot why you peeping, sir? Then you get dementia.
Alzheimer's.
If you go outside, if you go inside, you not know why you went outside, sir. Then you get Alzheimer.
All right.
So that was a little joke. Let's go to the books.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Let's go to your books. And we'll
okay, as you know, I'm a storyteller, and I always collect the ancient Liberian animal story, because the culture of Liberia is based, and the moral culture is based on the spider stories. And the spider and animal stories in Liberia used to be used to teach the children moral values.
Yeah.
And I will give you one at the end of the show, just to teach you one small story again. And so I went up country. I've been collecting, and I have a nice little book. It's called Ancient Liberian Animal Stories. It has about 25, 30 stories inside that you can use. And it has a traditional storytelling guide and a Liberian English guide inside, so that you know how to pronounce this thing. So if you are looking for a nice Christmas gift or a birthday gift, you can order them from me. Contact me on Facebook or on Instagram, Giant German Gina. Then if you are more into the history of Liberia, you need to get Blood Brothers. Blood Brothers is the story of the giant German Gina from 1983 up to 1990. Then the story of my brother in the war, the whole history of the conflict in Liberia and how we survived it. And you will find some inspiring truth inside this book. They are both $10. You can get them both online. Just order them from me. I can send it to you signed.
Thank you. 83 to 1990. You're smart, because you 7 years in Liberia, and you
pick up that thing, just my own blood, my man. The thing in my blood. I took blood tests and all. If people say, my man, you gotta take that one from there, I said no.
Okay, let's end with a few colloquial, because some of the Liberian words there, we're forgetting them now. Remind us.
Oh, okay. Bele. What is Bele? You buy Bele.
You fisi.
Bele. You know that one?
It means you fisi.
Hey, you fisi. You older man. You old man now. You Bele is stupid. Okay, drop your own. Drop your own.
No, I will be dropping one GGG. You can.
Oh, okay. What about Mokofi?
That one is new.
That one new. Okay.
Yeah, new, that money.
That money. Yeah. Okay. Then let's look for the 001 then.
Yeah.
Oh, I will koto you.
What?
Koto.
The elbow.
Exactly. I will koto you. Then Sabu.
Yeah.
Sabu head, no kiss me there.
You go.
Sabu head, no kiss me there.
Kiss me there. Your hair will bleed.
No, your hair will no. Sabu head, no. Yeah. Maybe our listeners can post our own there too.
Yeah. Listener, you got some for us?
You put your comments there, man. We need some Liberian word then. Okay, let's continue. Hopo Joe. You know that one?
Hopo Joe, that prostitute.
That the new one, they call it water pulley.
Water pulley.
Then let me see which other one I get. Yeah. No, I'm looking for the 001 there, man.
The 01. Very old.
The really 01. Yeah.
You know, language is funny, and except when somebody else saying it.
Yeah.
One day, say white guy who teaching Liberian English and say they just put O at the end. If you don't even know the Liberian English, just put O at the end, you will get it.
You get it.
He was right. I said, I didn't notice that.
And you know, I'm just doing a series of nonverbal communication in Liberia.
Yeah.
And I'm just using sounds. For example, bok bok.
Knock, knock.
You see, American man will not know. Liberian man know. Bok bok, it means knock knock.
Yeah.
Tamba naja, I want in there. Bele. You know Tamba naja?
No.
I don't know that word, sir. My man, Arthur, you need to my man Tamba naja, you need to explain that one. Aku Joseph Koma, you need to explain what is Tamba naja. Bele, we got that one. Yeah.
I thought they say Huawei. Bele and Huawei. Yeah,
what is that?
Huawei.
You jacking. Glang glang. Ah, they got some baba one in you.
Yeah, they got glang glang man. Then you know what you call tabella? Let's go play tabella.
Yeah.
Tabella the football.
Look at.
Yeah.
Then you get dog fat tabe.
That water coming now.
That water were there. Oh.
Yeah. So GGG, let's close this.
Yeah. Okay. You want a little? I got one. Let me give you a little spider story now.
Okay. Yeah, let's close with your spider story.
Okay.
And why this spider? Why is spider so important in this story? Spider gets sense or that tricky guy.
Well, spider historically, even in Ghana they call him Anansi.
Yeah, Anansi.
And Anansi is very smart too. So it seems to be a West African historical animal, you know. And spider used to have different size. Did you know that spider used to have a big gut?
No.
Oh, so you mean to tell me you don't know the story of how spider got a tiny waist? You don't know your cultural history, my brother?
No, I remember now.
Oh, you coming to class now? Okay,
yeah,
I catch you.
Yeah,
anyway, spider get big gut. He used to have big gut, and the man was lazy at all. The man like working there. So the man was laying down. Story. Once upon a time, spider was laying in a garden. Man was sleeping. Then that man not like to work, but the man a big man. Everybody want for the man to be at a wedding party. So the village on this side, they sent one messenger to come to Spider. He said, "My man Spider, tomorrow we'll have big wedding party. Oh, that small bossing will do. Oh, that small red oil wasting tomorrow. We want you to be our special guest of honor." And, you know, back in the day, no smartphone, no electricity for that kind of thing, no WhatsApp. So Spider said, "But how will know now?" Then they say, "Oh, but I get rope. Just tie the thing around your big gut. Then tomorrow when the party ready to start now, we'll just hold it small, then you'll know. Then you just come to the party, you bust your gut." He said, "Okay, I agree. Don't go." Spider went to sleep again. So that same moment now, 5 minutes later, one man from the village came. He said, "Spider, tomorrow we got a big party. That small cow meat will come in waste tomorrow. We need for you to come to be our guest of honor." He said, "But how will know?" He said, "I get rope. Just tie the thing around your waist." Spider said, "Oh, but wait now. I already get a party on this side. But they other food here. Before good food waist, let belly bust. Let me tie the other man around my gut too. Then I'll chocolate the food on this side. Then I'll chocolate the man here too. So let me just go bust my gut tomorrow. Don't worry." So the next day came now. They hold the man small on this side. Spider say, "Okay, let's go." So Spider said, "Let's go." He went on this side. Then he hold the man on this side. The other guy then started holding too. So both of them they say, "But I think Spider stuck. You call the young boys and you hold the man hard." So both of the villagers they started hauling. They said, the man hit you. The man hit you. You hold the man. You free the man. By the time they finish hauling, Spider waist came slim like that. The man almost died and went to heaven that day. From that day on, Spider get tiny waist because of his greediness. And the American people, they say you can't dance at 2 weddings at the same time. But that all came from Liberian spider.
Exactly. And there's something I want to tell you, GGG. Spider on the southeastern side. I remember because I write stories too. I listen to the old people just like you.
But man, you need to share your story, though.
And there is no spider.
Look
no
up.
Spider story. The story we have there. The animal is the one equivalent to rabbit. The same qualities the anansi and the spider have, that's the quality we have for rabbit. But there's the thing. There's no rabbit in Africa, in Liberia.
Exactly.
So the one we call rabbit is actually it's just a translation. But over there we call him Numa. Yeah, Numa. So I wrote a story and we said rabbit. So they said, no, it can't be rabbit because no rabbit here. I said, oh, you bounce.
You see?
Yeah.
You see?
So thank you so much. Let's I will get your final word, but before that, let me talk about what we're having tonight, 7 o'clock. It will be a debate. We can talk politics here too. So we'll call our back room to roll that flyer. There are people that support the government very hard. Another group support the opposition. So the two guys, they will come together to debate. Representing the government side is Mr. Jerome Gilman. He's a pro-CDC government person. And then representing the opposition or CPP, ANC is Anthony Gay. And you know what they will talk about? The way people dying plenty, they will talk about that. Some people say that the government will say, not so fast. We have their primary conducted. CPP had their primary in Nima, they were fighting. CDC had their primary. So we want to compare the two. And then the election.
I saw the picture of the video of people chunking rack on Cordova.
Yeah. So there will be a debate tonight, 7 o'clock. Please tune in. Let's talk top political issues right here on Focus on Liberia. GGG, thank you so much. Let's get your final thoughts on the topic we discussed and everything in between.
Yeah, first of all, I don't want to step on too many toes, but I just want to, advocate the cause of the Liberian family. As a family father myself, I feel pity for my brothers who are family fathers in Liberia. That's why I wanted to talk about the cases of Flomo and his family that are caught between too many hard places and they don't have a chance. It's just an uphill battle for them. So, if you have family members in Liberia, encourage them. If you want to support them financially, help them with the school fees, that might alleviate the problems of some fathers, but hold them accountable too for the school, but I just want to, raise awareness for the Liberian family's cause as a fellow father. So please forgive me that I'm white. I wish God had made my skin to be black too, but we are all brothers united in the cause for our mama Liberia to rise again. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, GGG.
Thank you.
And again, let's sound. Sound the conga for the giant German.
All hail Liberia, hail, all hail.
Thank you so much. We want to appreciate you. We also want to thank our viewers all over the world and even those who will watch later. Continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Here on Focus on Liberia, we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. Until then, from all of us, my name is Dennis. Good night, and God bless you.
Later. Bye-bye.